Deku was Iron Man. I'm sorry I haven't been posting. I just have not been feeling like doing that today. But anyway, as you can see, Deku's quirk has everything to evolve around the arc reactor. Where are they? Oh yeah, that's another one I'm doing. No. These are my wallpapers that I'm looking through. Let me see if I got it. Oh yeah, this is also what I'm gonna do. Oh yeah. My next video will be this one. I'm gonna have to watch back on it though. So yeah, bye. I mean, not bye. I meant to say, let's get on to the what if. Okay, so when Deku was born, he'd have abnormal energy readings, and that would be coming from his chest. And they wasn't really paying attention to Deku's chest when he was born. So when they looked at his chest, they found that he had a little triangle inside of his chest. Oh yeah, and with Spider-Man Deku, he will have the Spider-Man suit from Infinity War, and how Deku will access that will be Deku will have a spider tattoo on the back of his back, and whenever he taps on that, his suit comes on, and Deku will think that he's quirkless in that one. So anyway, baby Deku Deku had to stay at the hospital until he was 1. Because, they needed to find whatever it was. And they named it Arc. They called it they found out that it was a reactor. And, so they let Deku go. Because they found out what was in his chest. And time skipped to Quirk Doctor time. And the quirk doctor said, well, we all know what your quirk is, but kid, you get to name your quirk, because we've never seen anything like it. And Deku said, if I have a reactor and, I'm going to say that his grandpa is Iron Man. And Deku wouldn't really know much about him, except that he saved the world from a big purple grape called Thanos. And his mother would read him stories. If you're wondering where I'm going with this, yeah, Deku would actually be a brownhead. Would actually be a brownhead. Oh, I forgot what the term is called for brownheads, but he'd be a brownhead. And but Deku, he would comb out his hair actually. Instead of having that messy hair that he has, he would have some down hair, actually. He'd have his hair like he does in Ice Deku. But when he gets older, he'll actually shave it off to look like that. Oh yeah, and in this one, Deku will be older. Older in this one. So basically it'll be like his Pokemon time in that one. I might do one episode to an origin story, and that episode will be 30 minutes. But anyway, as you can see. Yeah, but so Deku would say, well, Grandpa called his an arc reactor. I'm gonna call my quirk Arc. Arc. Good choice, kid. And Deku would go home, and next day at school, everybody would be like, "You went to the quirk doctor. What'd you name your quirk?" And Deku would say, I named it Ark. Why is that? And everybody will be like, why is that? And Bakugo say, oh, you're all dumb. He named it Ark because of his grandpa. Then everybody asks, who's your grandpa? And Deku say, and then Bakugo would say, who the hell said that? And the kid who said it would come up and say, it was me. And then and then Bakugo would throw out his hand and just explode their face. And everybody would be like, what? Why'd you do that? And Bakugo would say, because he's really self-conscious about his grandpa. Why? Because his grandpa was Iron Man. What do you mean was? Everybody would say, what do you mean was? Have you not heard the stories? The Avengers. Of the Avengers, the 5 core members, Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, Thor, tell me somebody who I should put at the end. After this, I'm gonna say that y'all get to pick the last Avenger. So anyway, I just like it. Story. Yeah. I feel like this deserves some music. And y'all should know what music I'm about to go for. Let me go to my Spotify. Okay, so everybody like, wait a minute. Iron Man, Tony Stark. Oh, sorry, Deku. Everybody would say sorry. Everybody would say, since Deku would... Just don't talk about it. Since Deku he had a quirk, everybody would call him Ironhead. Because, well, Deku would be getting in some fights, so, and, they would call him, and whenever he'd always win, basically. And that was because of his Iron Head. So they'd start calling him Ironhead. And everybody would say, well, sorry. And Deku would say, okay. And, 1 second. Aaron. Fresh. Don't even love you, $2,000. Okay, so, yeah, but they'd always, they'd always say, whenever somebody would bring they'd always smack them with. Bakugo would always destroy them. When I say destroy, I mean destroy. And so Deku would, he would, actually, I'm not about to input the ship yet. Because I don't know if y'all like to see that. about Tony Stark at all.
Starting this off, no competition, sadistic, I'm twisted, simplistic, ambitious, malicious intentions, not leaving no witness, I'm ripping our faces of all of my victims, wielding a chainsaw, blades off running at full speed, and trust me, they know, fear is a much to attain law, hard as the neck of the rest of the brain off, it's beautiful out in the country, especially when the others confront me, I'm painted for blood, I'm hungry, murder this traffic, you're trying to hunt me, I'm in the house, the family's waiting, turning into the table with the craving, waiting, you on the course, you and killers, and you on the course, see my name 5 times in the dark, but you better never turn around.
Anyway, now to the last school. The teacher comes in and says, we're going to pick what you want to be in the future. Well, and then he says, I already know that all of you want to be heroes. And everybody would start using the quirks. And since Bakugo has been helped with his anger, he wouldn't do his kind of like speech. So he'd say, only 2 people are coming, trying to go to UA. And that would be Midoriya and Bakugo. Everybody was snicker when they heard Midoriya, but then they remembered, wait, doesn't he have that arc blast? And so Deku would tap on his arc reactor and say, and make sure everybody heard it, and they'd all just say, nah, nope. And so now it's on to 10 months of training. Bakugo and Deku would train, because they actually are proper rivals in this one. And also, I'm going to be doing good and ignore Deku, by the way. And I'm not going to be following the story of the guy who did it. I'm just going to be taking, like, some things from him. Like, I'm going to say, like, it will be, like, Deku will change his looks in that one. And all that, just like in his. But the thing is, the ship will not be Midnight X Deku. Okay? Yeah, but anyway. And Bakugo and Deku would they'd see Deku on the beach and say, hey, you wanna, and they'd say, wanna have a race on who can pick up the most? And Deku would say, yeah, whoever has the most trash on their side wins. As Deku would tap on his arc reactor twice, as a metallic suit would come over him. And I'll say that Deku had to change out his arc reactor. And yes, Deku can change out his arc reactor. Deku would say, hey mom. And the day he learned that was when he was 5 years old. When Deku's arc reactor got damaged. And Deku would say, hey mom. Deku would come home and say, hey mom, am I gonna die? And she said, why, hun? And she said, why, hun? Stopping right there, saying, oh my god, what happened to your arc reactor? What happened to your reactor? Deku would say, I don't know, as he'd faint. And since Inko was the daughter of Iron Man, she'd still have some of his old arc reactors. And she said, wait, doesn't the Mark... I'm going to say like the Mark... I'm pretty sure it's like the Mark 50 one. 1 second, I'll go look this up. I'm going to say that it was the Mark 85 in final Iron Man suit. It was the final Iron Man suit. And Deku would say, hey mom, whose arc reactor did you put in replace of mine? Your grandfather's. Huh? But I thought I thought he was dead. And she'd say he is, but I still have some of his arc reactors. And Deku would say, why? Because whenever he'd get another one, he would make a new one. He'd make a new one. And so, Tony Stark, May 20. Users Tony Stark. Okay, so I was trying to see. Yeah, but Deku, whenever he tap his, well, one second.